Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome back to Construct Your Life. Austin Linney here. I've got my brother from another mother, Mr. Devin Burr. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and we'll just call him Mr. Burr. If you haven't seen the videos, we'll definitely get into that stuff. But why don't you tell us, because you've only been in the game a little bit on the investing part, even though you've done a lot of deals. Why don't you get us started back in the day where you were working before you started investing, my brother?
So I worked at Quicken Loans like 2010 to 2019. And my boy Templeton Walker, he worked there actually in 2011. That's where we met. And he worked there for about a month or two. It maybe longer, but we stayed in touch. And then I saw he was doing flips. I've always been interested in doing flips. So I hit him up and I'm like, hey, I want to try to do a flip. He's like, cool, let's meet, let's talk. This was January of 19. Okay. So me, him, and Danielle, my wife, we met with him. He kind of went over like what he does, how his business works. And I was intrigued, but kind of paralyzed by fear. Didn't do anything. Researched a lot, YouTube videos, but just didn't take any action. I was a lot of motion, but no action, you know? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I got so fed up at work one day. I was just burnt out, over it. And I'm like, you know what? I need to see how it actually works. It's one thing to talk about it and like research it, but to actually see it and see how it's applied, that's one thing. So I hit up Temp and I'm like, dude, can I have a ride along? Like, how much do I have to pay you to just see what you do on a daily basis? Mm-hmm. He's like, dude, you're my homie. You don't got to pay me shit. So I'm like, cool. When do we do this? And it was September. I think it was like September 17th, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. Did a ride along and I fell in love with it. I was like, this is so much fun. We went to a buy appointment. He locked it up, made 15 grand in like 10 minutes. We're going around looking at properties. I'm like, this is amazing. Cause I'm used to sitting behind a desk all day, right? Mm-hmm. No freedom. I have like a leash to my desk. Mm-hmm. And so did the ride along. Found out how he gets deals, which is with zero marketing. And I started doing it. I locked up my first contract on October 7th. And I'm thinking it's going to be a huge rip. Like we were thinking like 120 racks, which we would split. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 220 racks, which we would split. So I'd make like 110.
Sure.
So I'm like, I'm quitting my job. Mm-hmm. I go into work the next day. I'm like, I quit. Mm-hmm. And I just got a promotion. Literally no joke. I got a promotion that day. Mm-hmm. My VP takes me in the office. He's like, congratulations. You hit Triple Crown Banker, which is like the top of the top. I'm like, dope. Came here to tell you I quit, actually.
What do you say?
So he was like, okay. Like, what? So we talk it out. He tried to convince me to stay and then realized that I was chasing a passion. So he was like, well, you always have a place here if it doesn't work out. And I just banked on myself, you know, started October 8th and rest was history.
So let's go back to that, because I know just from your wife and kind of what y'all do, it's not like you're not making good money, right? At Quicken Loans, it's not like, you know, life's not good. So, and I get the fear part, and that's what everybody understands, is because it's the comfort zone is easy. What kind of pushed you over the edge? What, you know, it's not easy to walk away from that amount of money that you're making. And then more importantly, you know, that money's going to keep coming in, right? To enter into a world that is, it's a wave. I mean, it goes up and down and side to side. So what kind of was the breaking point, I guess, or what kind of were you searching for?
I think the breaking point was like they had so much control, you know. Quicken's this huge company. multi-billion-dollar company. And I knew the numbers. Like I had done that for so long that I knew how much I was closing and how much I was making, which was good money. I never made less than six figures. But then I knew how much they were making off of what I was doing. So I'm like, I know I can actually go make this money for myself and my family and make myself and my family rich instead of doing it for another company. You know what I mean? So I just got fed up. I got to a point where I was very good at the job. I was only working like 35 hours a week tops. And I was burnt out on 35 hours a week. So it's like, I knew that it was like stealing my happiness. I was trading my time for money, which I didn't want. I want to eventually be able to do whatever I want with whoever I want, whenever I want, you know? And that was kind of my breaking point, is I realized I need to like actually do this for myself, not for someone else.
Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, it's funny. I laugh about the ride along thing because that's what changed my life too, was spending the day with him and seeing it firsthand.
In the caddy?
Yeah, in the caddy. There is something to be said when you pull yourself out of a book or out of a course and you're actually in the fire, in the arena. And, you know, it kind of lights something inside of you that's not done by reading it about in a book.
Right.
And so you ride along with them. You're like, dude, this is great. I'm going to do this. And like, what cracks me up is like, you've only been doing this, like, let's say, you know, not even a year yet. And how many deals have you closed already?
So October 8th, right? I quit my job. I locked up that first contract October 7th. Mm-hmm. That was a headache and a half. Like, unbelievable learning experience. Took me 4 months to close that deal. Mm-hmm. I didn't make 110 grand. I made, I think, just under 20 in 4 months. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay. So that was the first one that closed, right? So it closed, I want to say early February. Mm-hmm. And then I got my first flip January 13th. So I technically hadn't done any deals until January 13th. And since then, 16 currently. So 16 this year. And it would have been way more, but Corona hit. And you know kind of how my business model is. It's all networking, going to meetups, all that kind of stuff. And that all went away. So it's like.
And I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, life's changed and we're in a new world right now. But I mean, 16 deals in, you know, like 6 months is kind of amazing. You know, there's a lot of people that won't do that in their entire life. So, you know, what are you telling yourself? Like, I mean, how are you just executing over and over again? And how are you remaining like so just focused to keep pushing the envelope? I mean, is it a momentum of success, or is it just kind of like the fear has just went away?
The fear of doing deals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a fear of doing deals anymore. Like, I know how to do them. I know how everything is structured. I know what to do to an extent. I think for me, it's just once I see it's possible, then I'm like, okay, let's go. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I saw that first one close and I'm like, okay, I can do this. So then that first one closed, and then I've done 6 other wholesale deals. Let's see, we got 5 flips and then 3 portfolio deals. So seller carries, burrs, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, it's just momentum, I guess, is a big thing of it too. Mm-hmm. So it was when Corona hit, the momentum stopped, right? Absolutely stopped. And then I just had to think of different ways to get it back up, you know?
I'm gonna get you uncomfortable there for a minute, Mr. Burr. So, you know, you're the first one to admit, because you've admitted to me that when Corona hit, like, it really messed with you for a little bit there for a while, right? Mentally, just physically, all around. Why don't you talk about that and kind of, you know, hitting a wall, because you are a networker. Me and you are the same person. We're a social butterfly. It's what we do. It's how we get deals. So, you know, if you don't mind talking about, you know, and really relating with people who are going through the same thing right
now. So yeah, when Corona hit, it was big for me, especially when gyms shut down. Like, my foundation, like, a lot of people don't know, I used to be a bodybuilder, and the gym is like my sanctuary. I'd have a routine every morning, get up at 4 a.m., meditate, go to the gym, work out for an hour, 2 hours, and then I'm back by like 7 o'clock. Everyone's just waking up and I'm ready to rock and roll. Gyms went away. I'm like, crap. Now what do I do? Right. And it just, it helps my mental health. It helps everything, physical health. So that went away, and it's just a constant struggle of, well, where can I work out now? Work out in my garage, it's 110 degrees, right? Mm-hmm. It's just finding solutions for problems. And that's really all it is with real estate. You find solutions for problems, mm-hmm. you know? Mm-hmm. But I think the biggest thing with Corona hitting right when I became like an entrepreneur, it's like, this is a very challenging time, right? Most challenging time we've seen in forever. Mm-hmm. It's like, if I can get through this, when this is over, nothing else can happen that's going to set me off my tracks. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. And I think that people, I think that me and you hang around a lot of the same people. And I think that I look at my friends who are crushing it right now, and I think to myself, like, imagine when we don't have all these restrictions. Imagine when everything is open for business. We're going to feel like we're moving 30 million miles an hour. And I think that every day that you wake up is a choice on how you operate, how you move forward. And that's what is so important to me. So let's talk about when it first hit, the gyms closed, all that stuff. But what kind of shifted it back around for you? What kind of got you locked back in again? To kind of like push forward, not that you stopped, but just kind of keep moving in the direction you were wanting to.
Part of it was when gyms opened back up, because I was able to get back into my own routine. But a lot of it is just keeping the network that I have and that I've created. You can't go to meetups anymore, so it's like doing stuff like this, seeing that sexy face. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. 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 And calling people, talking to people, sending them texts, seeing what they're up to, just keeping your sphere close to you, mm-hmm. Because I'm a big believer that like your network is your net worth, right? Mm-hmm. Who you surround yourself with is who you're going to become, who you are. And if I'm just sitting in my house by myself all day with my dog, I'm going to become a dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it's just getting out there, not being scared to like talk to just random people. I try talking to the most random people ever since I've been in real estate. I'll talk to the person at the checkout line. They've got a name tag, right? Does anyone ever say their first name? You never hear them say it.
I do that too.
I make it a point to say it. And like, sometimes people will be like, how'd you know my name? I'm like, you're wearing a name tag. But it makes their day. Like they've got a monotonous job. They're not making a ton of money, but that's their situation. That's their circumstance, right? And if someone can just come and say their first name, hey, thanks, Alice. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Tom. Mm-hmm. It makes them feel good. So then you can have a conversation with those people and just being a social butterfly, like you said. It's so funny you say that, because I remember in school, my teachers would get on me all the time. They're like, you're such like a social butterfly. You're always talking to everyone. You're not going to see success unless you study and be focused. And it's so funny because my biggest strength, they said it was my biggest weakness.
Mm-hmm. No, it's so funny. The guy I just interviewed is a multifamily investor, a buddy of mine. And we were just talking about how we were the oddballs in school. And they're like, you're never going to amount to anything. Like, your skills don't matter. And, at the end of the day, we lean on what we do well. And this business, meaning investing in real estate especially, is predicated on relationships. And this is how you get stuff done. It's because of the relationship that you built with Templeton that you were able to learn firsthand how to do these deals. And here's where we are now. And, just put it this way, and I'm not trying to get rude on people, but there's a lot of people moving through life that only give a shit about themselves. And
100%.
By you saying their name on their name tag, by you giving a shit about some lonely employee at Walgreens or whatever, you're making a choice, and you're telling the universe that this life is bigger than you, right? It's bigger than what your needs are, or whatever that is, right? And so that's what we're talking about here, guys, is that this is a relationship business. And I see you're happy to give value and help out these younger investors and anybody that you can. And I know that's only going to, return to you 20 times,
So funny you say that. I am a huge believer on the law of reciprocity. You know what that is, right? So for your viewers that don't know what the law of reciprocity is doing something nice for someone else. Generally speaking, that person will feel compelled to do something nice for you. And usually their good deed far outweighs your original good deed, right? So I'm a huge believer in that. I've gotten deals that way. I actually had a wholesaler who's never done a rental before. Needed money to actually close on the rental, closing costs, title fees, all that stuff. It was $6,000. Didn't have the money. So I'm like, I'll lend you $6,000, right? Lent it out. So I'm making a percentage off that money, and I won't get too far into it, but I take the money from a life insurance policy that I also make money on, even though I take it out. So that's a whole different story. But so I'm making money in the life insurance policy's money, take the money out, lend it to her. She's paying me back interest. $6,000 is not going to make or break me, but it helped her out. It helped her get her first rental. So she feels indebted to me. She sent me a deal that's going to make me hundreds of thousands of dollars over my lifetime. And we structured that one actually creatively by using my wife's money to actually, it's crazy, bro. And it all came from just doing one nice thing for that wholesaler. You know what I mean?
No, that's where it's at. And funny enough, he's being interviewed next right after you, the Mr. Breedwell. So we'll get into that. We'll get into that whole thing about the life insurance policy and all that stuff on the next podcast, guys. It's super cool avenue to invest in real estate. But simple pleasures and simple positivity is not going to, meaning doing things for other people will get you 20 times over, because if you break it down from a granular level and you look at it even deeper than there, you're choosing as a human, you're choosing abundance and positivity over scarcity and being a cutthroat dick. And so by choosing abundance, you're telling the universe that I'm available for all the good deeds in this world to be washed over me. And it's not until I made that switch in my life that everything started happening. These opportunities started flowing and stuff like that. And you get in these avenues where your back's up against the wall, and regardless if your back's against the wall or you're in a bad situation, you're going to make sure that you make everybody else whole before you get made whole, because that's the right thing to do. And I guarantee you over the period of time, it will play out to the positive side for you.
100%.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is you have a choice. A lot of people don't realize you have a choice with everything. Who you associate with, what you think about, what you feed your mind, and just the way you go about life, right? Prime example, I got family in town from West Virginia. We were talking about this earlier offline, but we had a family barbecue on Sunday. And my entire family is more Republican than Democrat, right? Including myself. I don't get into it too much because, in my opinion, it's just negativity from both sides attacking both sides. So the entire family, we're sitting there and they're all just going back and forth about everything that's happening in the world, where it's going, and all this negative crap, right? I have a choice to sit there and listen to it or get up and go somewhere else, right? And I made the choice to get up and remove myself from that situation. Everyone's like, well, what are you doing? Like, you can't turn your back on the politics. This is the way it's going. I'm like, no. You guys don't understand. I have a choice of what's entering my mind. I control that. And love you guys. You can bicker about all this stuff all you want, but I choose to not let it affect me by getting out of the situation, So just a big thing for me is just having the ability to choose what you want to do at any given time. People forget that they have that choice.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I just said this, I think on the podcast I released on Wednesday, I will not be around negativity. Not going to do it.
100%.
Not going to do it. This life is too damn short. If you want to bicker and moan about people that you can't control and they're going to affect the way that you show up every day, that ain't going to be my world at all. And I'm just not going to do it. I don't care. Family, dad, brother, mother, sister. It don't matter. Not going to be around it.
Dude, I haven't told you this, but my favorite book on the face of the planet now, you recommended it. Do you know what it is?
No.
It speaks on what we're talking about. Negativity, positivity, outwitting the devil.
Oh, I just talked about this with Ryan like an hour ago.
Yeah. Unbelievable book.
It's I really believe that if you open your heart to it, I don't think that there's a book that's better written to explain the world. I mean, truly, like it shows the inner workings of society and how it's crafted to manipulate the population.
100%.
It's that book, and that book is amazing. Atomic Habits. I mean, those things, it's just one of those things where like, that's a book that you'll read over and over again and just get so many little tidbits out of it. It's so good. And I see you on your Instagram stories, like you're big into like, positivity and focus and stuff like that. So on a daily basis, what are the things that you're doing to make sure that you're optimizing how you're operating with inside who you are? What are you doing daily?
So daily I meditate, which for me was extremely difficult early on because my mind just goes in 9 million different ways. I mean, I'm ADD. If there's ever been a person that's ADD, that's me, right? So meditating, if anyone has done it, you just focus on your breathing. That's all you focus on. Just focus on being in that moment. And then your brain starts thinking about other stuff, right? And mine did it like crazy. But the more you realize that your brain's going over here, bring it back to your breath, you're literally controlling what you think about. And when you can control that and minimize distractions, you've mastered your mind, right? You've mastered your emotions. So that's a big thing for me, meditating every day. So I wake up, meditate. I usually watch some sort of inspirational YouTube video. I've been really big on Gary Vee right now. His message, he has like 3 messages that he just repeats over and over and over and over and over again in just a different fashion. So I listen to that, and then, I do my thing. I hang out with my daughter, which is amazing. I hang out with my dog. I hang out with my wife, and then put some content out there and try to do deals. Then at night, before I go to bed, I started out probably in February, March. I'm like, I'm not a big reader. Like, I'll listen to audiobooks, but I've never been a big reader, right? How can I become more of a reader? And I got this from, I think it was Atomic Habits, actually. Listening to that one is, you just have to start something real small and make it a small habit, and it'll compound on itself. And then you don't try to read, you actually become a reader, right? So I made the goal to just read 10 pages a night. 10 pages isn't a ton of time. It takes maybe 10 minutes, right? I don't think I've missed a day since then. And I've gotten through several books just by reading every single night. Sometimes it'll go more than 10 pages. Sometimes it's only 10 pages. But that's been huge, because the things you think about right before you go to bed is generally what you think about in the morning, right? Most people are on Facebook reading all the negativity. So they go to sleep negative, wake up negative. What do? What do most people do right in the morning? Get on their phone, check their Facebook, check their Instagram, check their emails. I don't look at any of that until after I've actually gone through and watched a YouTube video, after I've meditated. So again, it's just a big thing for me, is controlling what goes in my mind. I have total control of that, and so does everybody. And you can control feeding it good information, positive things. You can also feed it negative crap, and that negative stuff will just spawn. If you feed it good things, the positive things will spawn as well.
No, you're 100% right. And people think that life needs to change, like everything. Like, I wasn't an alcoholic for 20 years, and you don't go, hey, I'm just going to stop drinking. It's that easy. No, guys. Like, it's a process. And if you just live in the world where I'm going to get 1% better every day, like that 1% that you do, that extra book that you read, and the thing is like, it's a truthful story, because like I'm in Arizona now. I look at everybody that we hang around with on a regular basis, and everybody's so damn happy. We're happy. I mean, it's just the truth. I mean, like, we're all so excited about life and growing together, and it really is about your circles. And it's, I'm not telling you to like tell your sister to go shove it. That's not what I'm saying. But like you're saying, you control everything that seeps in your brain. If you're tired of hearing about the coronavirus, then turn off the fucking news. I mean, I don't know what
100%.
to tell you. Like, I turned the news off in March, and it's fine. Like, everything's good. Like, I still know what's going on.
Dude, it's funny. I go through these times where someone will say something. They're like, "Hey, did you know this happened?" I'm like, "No," because like there's times where I just get off social media altogether. Like my Instagram is not even on my phone. I delete the app.
Mm-hmm.
My Facebook, not even on my phone. I delete the app. So people will be like, "Hey, did you know this happened in the world?" I'm like, "No." Like, my life goes on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But you mentioned something about like it being a process. I wanted to touch on that. A lot of people lack the perspective of time, right? How much time you actually have. I think about myself. I'm very young still. I'm 35 years old, right? I just started doing real estate 7-8 months ago, right? If I work my tail off for the next 10 years and build wealth, I'm still only 45. But people want it to happen overnight, right? Even if I worked for the next 50 years, I'm 85 at that point. But that's 50 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you talk to people that are in their 20s. I've got so many younger friends that are in real estate, and they're just frustrated that it's not happening as fast as they want it to happen. I'm like, dude, you're 22 years old. Like, have some patience.
Yeah. You've got 60 years left.
Bro, 60. And even if you're in bad health and you die earlier on in life, like let's say at 62, you still got 40 years left.
You know who's my favorite people to meet? The people that are like, you wouldn't even know, like, but they worked for like 40 years and they have like 10 million in the bank, and they just work like regular jobs.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's my favorite people to meet. They're like, oh yeah, dude, we're like super loaded. Like
they wear like Chucks and a white t-shirt.
Yeah. And it's like, what people don't understand is like that you're it, because I was that guy. You know, why is it not blah blah blah? Like, dude, just full disclosure, like, I don't give a shit. I'll talk about my stuff all the time. Like, I never really made good money. Like, I'm 38. It's about to happen. Like, but it's taken that long. And so it's like, you know, like, it's all good. Like, I had to follow my own path. And like, you know, if I wanted to, you know, just to use them as an example, like, I could be like extremely like envious of like Ryan Zolan, like, you know, 22 years old, like he was making 100K at 19. Like, you know, I was just trying to like make sure my jeans, you know, I got jeans on, you know, like I was a bartender, you know, but like
the problem is people give up.
Yeah,
that's the problem, because like I know you and I know like your mentality, and you're not going to give up. One of the best books I've ever read, or I almost said almost written. One of the books I've ever read. Yeah, read. One of the best books I've ever read is 3 Feet from Gold. Have you read that book?
I have not, no.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
So it just talks about like not giving up before you're right there. People usually give up 3 feet before they reach goal, right? And it just talks about that. So I think a lot of people, they get frustrated with the grind and frustrated with it's not happening soon enough, and they don't have the patience to understand, like, if you just keep doing what you're doing, you follow your heart and you follow what you know is right, you're going to break through. And then people will think you're an overnight success. Right? Yeah, but they won't see everything that went into it.
I'm going to tell you a story. You're going to love this. True story. I don't think I've told you this story. I started the Airbnb company with the 2 guys from California back last year. We blew it up. We had a bunch of Airbnbs in 7 states. In late July, some shit went down. We decided that no longer I was going to be part of the company. So like we decided to part ways. I lost a bunch of money, but whatever. And like I had worked in the restaurant business for 20 years. So this happens. And then the next day was the 2-year anniversary of the food hall that I ran, was my previous job in the restaurant business before I left. So I'd been out of the restaurant business 3 months, right? 20 years out for 3 months, finally like bet on myself. So I'm like, I'm just going to go say hello to everybody. Like, you know, is what it is, right? So I get out of I park, I get out of the car. I walk up to the door. My hand touched the door. And I felt a voice come into my head, and it said, "This isn't your life anymore. Walk away." And I literally shut the door and got in my car. And the next day I got a phone call from the private equity firm that they offered me a job.
Good for you, dude.
No, but it's like, I know if I would have stepped in that restaurant, I probably would have gone back to the restaurant business.
You'd be in it still right now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, look at like, and don't get me wrong, it ain't been great. I got laid off in March, like shit's crazy. But like you said early in the beginning of the call, like I decided that I'm going to bet on myself, let the chips fall where they may, because at the end of the day, at least I control that narrative wholeheartedly. So guess what? If I want to travel like I've been traveling, that's on me because it's my businesses, right? And that is, and I'm not saying everybody has to be an entrepreneur, right? But you have to dive into things that are passionate or is your passion, because that's how you'll unlock the true gifts that are inside of you, right? And the gift that you are, you know, is what you're seeing right now.
There's something to be said about self-awareness, right? Not everyone's an entrepreneur. You know, I was a horrible employee. I'm just going to call it for what it is. I have had so many jobs. I've lost count. Literally just, and I don't like taking direction from people. I'm like, leave me alone. Let me do my thing. Mm-hmm. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Mm-hmm. But that's not everybody. Being an entrepreneur is sexy. You know, putting CEO on your Instagram profile and your Facebook, that's sexy. But it's not sexy. Mm-hmm. You put out fires all the time. You deal with problems all the time. And it's like, if you're self-aware that, yeah, I'm a pretty damn good employee, and you can move up the corporate ladder and be number 2, number 3 employee at a company, do it, you know? Mm-hmm. But you have to be self-aware of what you're good at, what you're not good at, and don't focus on what you lack, focus on your strengths, you know?
Yeah, I think that was the kicker for me, is that I tried to work on my weaknesses for a long time because I wasn't comfortable enough in who I was. And then I go, wait, you're just a motherfucking tidal wave of networking. Like, just do that. And so
100%.
It wasn't until I read Rocket Fuel that I truly positioned myself with people around me that lift me up, right? And so we make a joke of, I just talked about it yesterday. We make a joke about it, you know, like, you know, in the military, there's like a special group of guys that are like halo jumpers, right? They're like, they do the extra high, like
the badasses,
the oxygen tank shit. Yeah. That's me at a networking event. Like, drop the fucking dude in 1,000 people, and you know, he'll know everybody's name and fucking phone number within like. But what somebody said to me the other day that's very interesting. They go, not only do you know all these people, you keep up with all of them too, and you know everyone's story. And I'm like, because that's what I do. It's so easy for me. But then if you look at my assistant, like, he doesn't want to talk to anybody. Like, he just wants to work for me. And we've taken 2 people's strengths and we've lifted them up. And so I told him, what I feel like is, I feel like every day that I'm just soaring and I'm not like being dragged down by like weights around my legs. And that is 100% self-awareness.
For sure. You know what you're good at. So just do that.
Yeah. Double down on that. Yeah.
Like Michael Jordan played basketball because he was fucking good at it. Right? Mm-hmm. Went and played baseball to get away, clear his mind. Wasn't that great at it.
Yeah.
What did he come back and do? He played basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude was a fucking badass at basketball. Mm-hmm. It's just being aware of what you're good at, what your strengths are, and running with it. And I truly believe everyone has like a unique strength that can help the world, help other people. And it's just finding that strength and then running with it.
Mm-hmm. But what I want to talk about, what I think is the greatest cinematography that's ever existed on the history of the planet, if I'm ever if I'm ever having a bad day, I just turn this on. And not only that, it was amazing, and you got deals from it. So what we're going to talk about now, guys, I want to somehow attach it to the podcast episode. How did this come about, guys? What we're talking about is they created an Instagram video. Mr. Burr, they did a song parody, and I think you got a bunch of deals from it. But it was amazing. So how did that even come about? This Instagram post?
Too funny. So yeah, so my first couple deals were in January that I did, right? And I think I had, by the time we were going to do that video, it was beginning of February. I'd done like 2 deals, 3 deals maybe. And I was with Temp, and he's like, dude, you've done a really good job of like using my name to like kind of ride my wave, which I think that's huge when you're new, is work with someone that's actually done a lot of deals and use them as like a stepping stone. Almost be like I would use Temp at meetups. I'd be like, hey, I'm doing deals with Templeton Walker. They'd be like, oh, Templeton, dope. And then it starts conversation and deals started coming. But basically he's like, dude, you've done a great job of like riding my wave. Make your own wave. Like there's something that you can do that's personal to you. And at the time I wasn't even Mr. Burr on Instagram. I think I was just D-Burr 1985 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it hit me. I'm like, well, there's the Burr method. My name's Burr. I could just be Mr. Burr, right? And then I'm like, dude, let's make a music video. And he had already done the natural light one. I'm sure everyone's seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, dude, that's good. What do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know. So then we just start spitballing ideas. I was actually at the gym, walking around. Everyone's working out, and we're just talking. And he's like, dude, let's think of something maybe we can do to that video Right There by Chingy. And I'm like, he's like, it could be right Burr or something like. But then I got on the stairs at the gym right then and wrote the entire song. Literally within an hour on the stairs, the entire song was written. I called him back and I'm like, dude, I've already got it done. And he's like, what? And then like I did a little soft like draft of it. He's like, dude, that is fire. Come over Monday. We're going to record the video. So yeah. And then from there, I think from when it released, which I believe was February like 15th until Corona, I did 6 deals. So like in 1 month, I did 6 deals just from people see that and they're like, oh shit, this is funny. But then at the same time, they're like, well, I've got this deal. Maybe he can do it. And they sent it to me. So it was fun. We were going to do a lot more of them, but Rona hit. So,
well, I mean, I think what an example is, and I heard this on the podcast I listened to the other day, like social media is a tool and it's how you choose to use it. Right. And so my philosophy right now on just content in general and real estate investing knowledge and everything is it's boring as fuck. It's boring as shit. And
it is.
And it's just, there's so much out there. And so how are you going to stand out? How are you going to be different? Right. And guys, there's a lot of people that would murder somebody for 6 deals. And he got it from a thing he wrote on a Stairmaster and they recorded in one day. And we can play that for the rest of their life. And so you have to put the fears of what you think it looks like or what, and just be yourself. And this day and age, through social media and where we're headed, authenticity, I didn't even say it right, whatever, but who you are as a person, if you live in that truth, then the rest of this shit will figure itself out.
Yeah, being authentic, 100%. Because I found myself earlier on social media not being authentic. Like almost people thought I had been doing this for a really long time just because of like how I was speaking on social media and the way I was coming across. And I hadn't been doing it for long. I hadn't even done many deals at the time. So I wasn't being truthful. I wasn't being honest. I wasn't being authentic. And one of my good friends, Jesse Burrell, he told me, he's like, dude, like, don't try to get to chapter 10 when you're just starting chapter 1. Like, just be you. You are enough. Like, don't try to be someone else before you actually are that person. And it hit home. And then since then, it's just been, how can I be as authentic as possible And I struggle with it, honestly. That's a lot of times why I get off social media too, because a lot of what I do and how I get deals is kind of self-promoting, you know, and send me your deals. I'm looking at this property. I'm looking for more. What inventory do you have? It kind of feels like, it doesn't feel authentic because I'm self-promoting. You know what I mean? So I get off a lot of times just to kind of wash myself from it. But it's a struggle, man. Being authentic when you're just talking to a phone, it's hard, you know? And that's why I think I did so well when there was meetups, because I could go face to face with people and then they could see how authentic I was. You know what I mean? But on a phone, it's tough. Possible, but tough.
No, and I agree. And one of the CEO of the private equity firm, he told me, he said, you know, if you've never done a deal before, like say you've never done a deal before, like people, like I just told this, we were in Zola and we're just talking about this morning at his house. The person that has 6,000 doors is hard to relate to. The person that's done 7 deals, you can touch that. You can feel that. And they're going to, like I told Zolan today, I said, there is a much more relatability towards you than me. I'm 38. Like you're 22. These kids are like, hell yeah, dude. Look at this crazy ass young kid crushing it. Right. And that's what people get in their own head about some BS they're telling themselves, whatever, limiting beliefs. It's all relatable. Your story yes, it's your story. But if you can help one person, take an extra vacation with their family, if you can help them retire 5 years younger, like, and you can help them or you can show them in the way, that's all that matters at the end of the day. And it's funny. And as you're telling the story about the video, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not trying to get emotional because I love your daughter so much, but I think one of the greatest things in my life, seriously, in the last like fucking 6 months, was your daughter shooting that video for us. Like I've got more joy out of that than I don't think anything is selling my house and making 50 grand. I don't even care about that. Like his 12-year-old daughter, like cut, edited, and filmed the video that we put on Instagram. Like, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. Like that's what I get way more joy out of stuff like that than any transaction.
100%.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where like you focus on the right stuff, guys, and the rest of the stuff will shake itself out. And, you know, I know that you are a lucky man because you have a woman, you have an amazing wife who supports you to, you know, I mean, look, dude, you know, we're divorced now, but I appreciate my ex-wife for always, you know, indulging in my craziness, because I think that me and you are very similar in who we are. We're super ADD, and, you know, our needs and wants change on a daily basis. So,
oh my God, my wife hates it, dude. So like, you know how Temp has the cold plunge?
Yeah.
Like, so now I want a cold plunge, right? So I'm searching online. Like I'm looking for deep freezers. They're all sold out because when Rona hit, everyone's buying them, right? Factories shut down. So I'm looking for a cold plunge. It ends up being probably like $700 to get everything. And she's like, you're not getting that. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like for my mental health. It's for my body. It like helps me recover. And she's like, you're going to do it for like a week and you're going to be done with it. I'm like, nah.
You can sell it to me. It's cool. Yeah.
She might be right.
She might be right.
But dude, I always tell people, like, I think one of the biggest reasons I've been successful in mortgages and real estate in my short time frame is I'm very, very, very optimistic and I'm a happy person. And I look at it because, dude, if you take away all my money right now, every last penny I have, you strip my properties from me, I feel like I've made it. I've got an amazing daughter. She's had straight A's her entire career at school, right? Everybody loves her. Like you said, you've met her a few times. You love her. She's amazing. My wife is incredible. Like I've got an awesome dog. My dog is the shit. Let's just call it for what it is. My dog is the shit, right? Like you could take away all the things that people want, the money, the cars. You leave me with my wife, my daughter, and my dog. I feel like I'm a rich man.
Because here's the true story, Mr. Burr. Here's a true story. Now that I'm thinking about this, you've got a long life to lead.
Right.
You already done 16 deals in 6 months. You're going to do more. You're going to make more money. what's it all going to matter? Right? I mean, like, that's where we're at right now. Like, you're truly looking at the rest of your life, the next 40 years, and going, what am I really going to leave on this world? Because, money is binary, cars are it's all ridiculous stuff. So, like, how are we going to live every day, right? And what are we, when we walk away, what are people going to say about us?
Legacy.
Yeah.
Legacy.
Exactly.
That's why I love what you're doing, bro, is you're putting out content to help people, right? So this content that you're putting out will be available forever on some microchip or whatever you want to call it, right? That's a legacy, bro, of helping people. So, like, when you die, you can't take all your money with you. You can't take your cars. You can't take your houses. You can't take your watches, right? But what people remember about you is how you made them feel, right? What you did for them. And that goes back to the grocery store. That's why I say the people's names. They're like, hey, that guy with the Mr. Burr hat, he made me feel good today, right? Yeah. It's all about making people feel good. If you can make people feel good, you've won.
And it's one of those things where my friend, probably my best friend, brought it to my attention. She was like, if you would have started your podcast a year ago, she's like, it'd be the biggest piece of horse shit on the planet because your life was in shambles. She goes, I commend you for literally launching the podcast in the midst of a divorce. She goes, it's like you have a roadmap. You're constructing your life on air in front of people, right? And so on and so on. But I look at it as something as simple as this. True story. And I thought about this yesterday when I was running. 15 years from now, let's say I have a kid. For my 15-year-old child to be able to look back and listen to their dad, I mean,
wait a minute. You having a kid in 15 years?
No, I'm saying if I have a kid, if I have one, is what I'm saying.
I was going to say you're starting late, bro.
No. That'd be way old by then. But I'm just saying, if I were to have a kid or whatever, or a niece or nephew, whatever, that they can go back and listen to that. But more importantly, like, I'm guilty of it. Like, I don't, I just put out the content and move on. But like, I look at it like so we launched on April 6th. Dude, I've already put out 45 episodes. Like, I'm like,
since April. Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, and more importantly, like, I got a podcast. Like, that's a thing, so it's like, it's almost like a roadmap to what's taking place. Right. And so it's really something great. And, it's one of those things where, like, dude, I tell you what, man, and it happens on a probably every other day or a daily basis. And it happened 2 days ago, and that was like the craziest thing for me. I got a random message from a guy, and he was like, hey, I'm this young kid in St. Louis, and like, I don't know how I found your podcast, but I've listened to like 7 in the last 2 days, and like, it's fucking great. And I was like, thanks. And I was like, badass. I was like,
that's amazing.
I was like, that's everything. Like, who cares about the money? That's fucking awesome, man.
Dude, it's who said this? Pace Morby. Shout out to Pace. He's the homie. But emotional income. It's a thing. Like, if you can get income from like the emotions that you get from helping somebody, that's a real thing. Sometimes it's even more important than the money. So what you're doing is awesome because you're very transparent. Like, you'll let people know you're a drug addict, you're an alcoholic. You know what I mean? You'll let people know. And that's huge because a lot of times you're scared to like tell people about your weaknesses because you don't want to be ostracized. You don't want to be judged, right? That's why people fear talking in public because they don't want to be judged. But if your struggles, if your weaknesses, if your setbacks can help someone from either one having them or get over them if they're having the same ones, who are you not to share it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
even if it's just one person.
I told somebody the other day, by you not sharing your story, you're being fucking selfish.
Dude, and Alec, Alec Lebec?
Yes, of course.
I'm dropping names on this. Shout out to all the homies.
Yeah, shout out all the Arizona players.
I just started listening, everybody. No, but Alec Lebec, he's the homie. We were talking last week. I was riding around to some of my properties, and it was I had got back on Instagram, and now I'm back off it. But I saw something he posted, and he was it was on his story about like his struggle that I didn't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
People didn't know about. He just shared it, and I was like, dude, awesome share. That was amazing. And he hit me up. He calls me and he's like, dude, thank you so much. I needed to get off my chest. It feels amazing. I'm like, dude, just imagine how many people that could help. That one thing that you just shared.
People, I mean, I probably know his story better than anybody because he's, you know, he shared it with me and everything. It's one of those things where you make a decision that here's what happens. I would love for you to see this take place because it's happened before. I don't even go, hey, I'm a real estate investor. My first lead in is I was a meth addict and I was homeless and I was an alcoholic for 20 years. Like I just go right in at it, you know, because what it's done is it's gone, whoa, my shit's not that bad. And they just like level down. But more importantly, this is what people don't understand. By me putting it out there, it doesn't control me anymore. It's the shit that we hide in the closet or in the back that by not getting it out, by not owning it, it controls the shit out of your mind, your body, everything. That's what people
100%.
And so there is a weird space where, look, don't get me wrong, like I'm still romantic as fuck about alcohol. Like I miss it, right? Like I don't miss it like I need it. But like I think it's cool, like, you know, I know about why the wine's made and all that stuff like that. But there has a conscious choice that made that for whatever reason, this brain with the chemicals that are inside of here do not work when that is put into my body. And that's okay. Like, it's not a big deal. Like,
self-aware.
Yeah. Yeah.
Self-aware.
Yeah. And everybody's like, you know, could you drink again? Yeah, I probably could. But what's the point? Like, it just, there's no point in it. Like, I'd rather just go do real estate deals and focus on the good stuff. And so at the end of the day, like, what I love about you is that you're so damn positive. It's like intoxicating, right? And so I love that because it's not easy. This shit is not great. We much prefer like, because me and you are social. Like I'd much rather be able to like, I don't know, actually like see people.
Yeah, give people hugs, and not be judged. Like I go in for a hug and they're like,
yeah,
don't hug me.
But I do know that if anything, this time has taught us one thing, is that if we show up as ourselves and we choose what we put in our brains and in our minds, you know, in our mouth, that will we don't need a lot, you know, and you know that's all that matters.
100%.
So
it's all about what you feed your mind, dude. It's crazy. I'm telling you, anyone who has not read that book, read that book, Outwitting the Devil. Unbelievable book. And it's literally, it's viewed as the devil is negative energy. Everything has a negative and a positive charge, right? Down to an atom has a negative and a positive charge. The negative is the devil. Positive is God or higher being, whatever you want to call it. And you have control of what you put in your mind. Negativity will compound on itself. So if you feed your mind negativity, you're gonna have more negativity. That's all there is to it. And what's the saying? Misery loves company.
Yeah.
Right?
I read something the other day. This was the craziest thing ever. He was talking about how you think the devil is coming for you. He's like, what you don't get is the devil is in the community, meaning like a poverty-stricken community. Like he's attacking every aspect of the community, not a single individual person, right? And that's what people don't get. Like that's why it's so hard to break generational poverty, generational drug use and everything. Like I had a boy, the interview dropped Monday, I think. Dude, my homeboy out of Dallas, like, dude, this dude, yeah, you want to talk about a killer. He grew up, started doing drugs at like 8 years old, lived in a trailer park, had a hole in his floor where rats used to crawl in. He used to throw the bed down so rats wouldn't get in, and was eating cat food because he didn't have any food. Like, right? Like all this shit. Was doing cocaine for a year when his wife didn't know it. Like nobody knew it. It was like just, he was crazy shit, right? The first year of business, he's going to do $4 million in his roofing business, right? And And he says, my competition doesn't stand a fucking chance. He said, because I'm impact over profits. And he goes, dude, when you come from where I come from, he's like, it's all gravy, baby. He's like, I'm just so damn happy it doesn't even matter, right? Because that's what he chooses to look at. Because there's a lot of people that would have taken that life and go, oh, woe is me for the rest of my life.
100%. Thinking that they don't have a choice to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I love hanging out with guys like that.
Name one person who's very successful that hasn't struggled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen. Even someone like a trust fund baby, right? I feel bad for them. I wouldn't want to be that. Mm-hmm. Because let's say you get millions of dollars from a trust fund. No matter what you do for the rest of your life, you could start the next Facebook, the next Instagram, and everyone would be like, oh, well, it was a handout. You'll never get away from the fact that you were given money. Those people are probably the most depressed, I would say, of anybody.
Yeah.
Because they could never make it. It's always going to be a stigma of, oh, well, that's a trust fund baby. When really they could have built their own success, but no one will ever see it that way.
Yeah. One of the greatest things I think about all the time is, you know, and I'm trying to learn this. I don't give unsolicited advice anymore. It's just not worth it. Like if you
100%.
want me to, you know, I'm trying to learn
100%. That. Oh my God, bro. I cannot believe you said that. Thank you so much. Jesus. Dude, I've tried. Yeah. And it just falls on deaf ears. It's a waste of time.
Dude, here's my joke. You ready for this? The same people 2 years ago that are going to ask me in 7 years when I'm sitting on a sailboat in the middle of the Mediterranean laughing my ass off are the same. I'm going to give them the same advice I gave them 7 years ago. How'd you get there? I told you 7 years ago. Dude, unsolicited advice I tried for years and just ran around in circles. You have to be open and willing for the options to be presented to you to receive them. It's just where it's at.
You know what the sad truth is anyone who makes it really big, family, friends, they won't ask how you did it. Mm-hmm. They'll ask for a job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They won't ask how you became wealthy because it's too much for them. It's too much responsibility. It's too much stress, too much work. They just want a job. Mm-hmm. And they know you can hire them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sad truth.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what the thing is. And here's the thing is everybody thinks that it's that they're trying to read a book. They're trying to listen to a podcast. They're trying to talk to some big time investor because they think there's a magic bullet. And what life is a fucking pyramid. And every part of that pyramid, every block in that pyramid is a stepping stone to reach the top. But you as a person, God, I feel good about what I'm about to say. You as a person, I had to say it because I was feeling it. You as a person have to define what that top is for you. And it's not 100%. until you do that if you don't know what that looks like, then what the hell are we doing here, guys? Like I tell everybody, laid off, moved cities, divorced, like all those things. And I'm the happiest I've ever been, right? So what happens when I'm making 40 racks a month? I'm going to be doing cartwheels naked down the street. Like,
you know what the funny thing is, bro, I could 100% see you doing that.
You know why I'm doing? You want to know why
I'm gonna hold it to you, bro.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hold that to you.
You want to know why I'm doing the cartwheels? Because that means I get to give half of it away. Like, people don't understand. It's a zero-sum game. But until you define what the top of that mountain looks like for you, the rest of the shit doesn't matter. It's not somebody else's goals. It's not Devin's goals. It's not Templeton's goals. None of those things. Until you actually understand what makes you tick every day and makes you wake up, the rest of the shit doesn't matter.
Bro, it all goes back to self-awareness. I think that's probably the biggest thing, if anyone could take from this podcast, is self-awareness. Being aware of what drives you, what makes you happy. If being a teacher making 30 grand a year makes you the happiest person on the face of the planet, do it. You know what I mean? Do it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've met so many people before that make hardly anything, but they're as happy as can be because they're aware of what drives them, what makes them happy. You take them out and plug them into my world, they would hate it. Mm-hmm. They would hate it. You put them in your world, they'd be like, I don't want these podcasts. This is stupid. I don't like this. I hate this.
No, they don't want to. Yeah. It's the perfect example. I use my friend as a reference point because this is real life. This is where we're headed, guys. So he had a job he absolutely loved. He loved every part about it. The team he was driving. I mean, everything. Like, he loved it so much. Worked from home, all those things. He had to take a promotion, or they would literally fire him. Like, he had to take the promotion. It was like 30 grand more or something like that. Had to start working.
Wait, rewind.
So there was a promotion. If he passed it up, they would think that he didn't want to grow in the company, right?
Oh, okay.
So he's like, well, fuck it. I guess I got to take it. So he takes it. He's got to work in the office. His hours aren't his anymore, and his team doubled in size, and he's miserable. He's already making 170 grand. Like, what's the fucking other 30 grand? He's only really getting 18 grand of it. Guys, you have to define what that looks like from you, and it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside surface, right? And when you get to these numbers, 80, 90, 100 grand, 300 grand you're making a year, that's just, what is it going to do for you?
The way I look at money, this is the only way I look at it, is that money is a way to solve problems, an easier way to solve problems. You can solve problems a lot of different ways, but if you have a lot of money, you can solve problems easier, right? Take, for instance, I don't like to wash dishes. I hate it. I don't like it at all. I think there's better things to do with my time, right? So I can hire someone to wash the dishes. I don't want to get out in 110-degree weather and cut my grass. That's a problem. If I've got the money, I can hire someone to do it. Mm-hmm. That's all money is. It's a way to solve problems, right? Mm-hmm. But if you don't have any problems like that, if you like cutting your grass, cut your grass. You don't need a lot of money, So self-awareness, be aware of who you are and what you need, and the rest takes care of itself.
No, I agree. Well, dude, I appreciate it, my man. We crushed it. How does, even though you're not on Instagram now, how do they find you when you do get back on?
So when I do get back on, who knows when that'll be? It's Mr._Burr, and that's BRRRR, I believe. However many R's there are here, 4 R's, I think. So that's my Instagram handle. I'm hesitant to do this, but I'm going to give out my cell phone number. So 602-708-1348. If you guys have questions, let me know. If you have deals, send them my way. We can work together on any real estate deals. But it was a pleasure, bro. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I always love chopping it up with you, brother.
And something we're going to do, and you don't even know this because I'm just announcing it, but I know that you'll be happy to do it. So it doesn't even matter because I was talking to Tip about this. I want to start getting into things, especially maybe next year when travel opens back up again. We have I truly believe there's no better network in the country than Arizona real estate investors. I just, hands down, I think it's top. This is such a helping community, and I've only been here for a short time. I want to start getting a thing where we have groups come in from time to time and do ride-alongs and walk the flips and do all that stuff. I think it's a great educational point, and I think that it can really show some people some on-the-job skills and just great networking and stuff like that. So that's something I'm thinking about for next year.
Bro, all goes back to the law of reciprocity. Mm-hmm. Do something nice for someone else, they'll return the favor.
Amen.
So get out there and help people, and it'll come back to you.
You got it, guys. Well, I hope you all like this episode. Make sure you share it with your friends, and I just really appreciate everybody for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.